Welcome to a new episode here on Firm Learning. Today I'm standing in front of the global headquarters of Allianz. Allianz was kind enough to support the work of the channel by sponsoring this video. Allianz has over 500 consultants in diverse locations, such as in Munich, Singapore, Milan, Paris and New York. In a moment we are going to meet Vanessa, who is a project lead here at Allianz Consulting. And today we are going to learn what the day in the life of a project lead looks like and what it's like to work in the in-house consultancy of such a big multinational blue chip company.
Welcome to Allianz.
Thanks for having me. Very excited for the insights of the day. To kick it off, would you like to introduce yourself and also talk about your current role here at Allianz?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Vanessa and I've been working at Allianz for about 7 years. I'm currently in our in-house consultancy called Allianz Consulting, and I am a project lead for about 6 consultants. So Heinrich, should I just show you what it's all about?
Sounds great.
Perfect, then follow me in.
Thank you.
So I like to start my day here by checking my emails and my calendar just to really know what's waiting for me today and to be able to prioritize my tasks accordingly.
Makes sense. And you are a project lead at Allianz Consulting. Can you share what type of project you're currently working on, what type of topics you're looking into?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm working currently on a project within customer experience here in the strategy and marketing department. And what we're more concretely doing is using real-time customer feedback in order to identify improvement areas along the whole customer journey. And I really love the project because everything we develop here is something that touches the end customer. So this is why I'm really passionate about the topic.
This sounds like quite an extensive initiative. Can you share what a typical day looks like, a typical schedule looks like, maybe the example of today?
Yeah, I mean, every day is, of course, different. But what we normally do is we start the day with our daily check-in with the team to really understand, okay, where does everyone stand with all the deliverables, any possible challenges that we might have. And today we'll actually meet the client for our weekly as well. So we actually have the check-in started in just a minute. So you can join me and we can see what the team has for us today.
Thanks for that. Exciting.
Perfect. All right, so there they are. Hi team, how are you?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How's everyone doing?
Very good.
Everything great, thank you. How are you?
So it seems like we're all aligned for the client weekly later on. So that's really great, team. Good job. So then I would say let's see each other then in the meeting. And yeah, we'll just say goodbye for now.
Thanks everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
All right.
Hey.
I think that was quite interesting. It was also everything happening online. I know that also many people, of course, have in their mind when they think about consulting, what the working hours are like. And also from my own experience, I know that sometimes the hours can be quite tough. Can you share a bit more what that's like for Allianz Consulting?
Yeah, sure. I think generally it's very different from day to day. The normal working hours are around 8 hours. There are some days, of course, based on the project or the deliverables that we might work a little bit longer. But there are also many days where, it's a little bit more relaxed and I can actually go home a little bit earlier. So it's quite flexible.
That definitely sounds better than what I was used to. And that also heard actually a couple of times also from other people that in-house consulting sometimes are a bit better on this work-life balance side.
So let's go to the client meeting because that's starting quite soon. And then you can also get a glimpse of what we do there.
Sounds very interesting. Thank you. Hi everyone.
Hi,
there.
how's everyone doing?
Very good.
So this is Heinrich, who you met before in our check-in. He's also going to be sitting into the weekly today.
Pleasure to meet you in person. Great. Hi there in the WebEx as well.
Yeah, hi everyone. All right, so have a seat.
Hello.
So then let's get started with the content, I'd say. So the agenda for today, as you know, we'll be discussing the new customer experience initiative and the launch. And I would like to start with the entities where we don't have the green light yet to make sure that we don't fall behind schedule. And then let's continue with the content of the SteerCo next week. So that's a very important topic as well, and any open questions that you might have. Does that sound fine for everyone?
Thanks, man. Yep.
Perfect. Okay, so as for the timeline, Eslam, do you have an update?
So as we actually discussed earlier today, we still do not have the green light for the entities, so we are currently pending approval. So
Okay.
this is the current status at the moment.
And what's causing the delay?
We had a change in the management, so we are making a call in the evening today to align with the entities.
Okay, that's good. Then please let me know what the outcome is after your call then this afternoon. And what about for you, Oliver?
From my end, the customer journey mapping was completed. The stakeholders were very happy with the results and they're looking forward to the next steps.
Okay, perfect. That sounds great. Good. So then I think that was all for the first point. So then let's go into the second point, which is the content for the SteerCo next week. So I think, Marco, you've been working on that, correct?
So the details of the SteerCo were confidential, which is why I now stepped out of the meeting. But actually this weekly format is one that I was quite familiar with as well. So typically you discuss first the progress of every team member of the last week, also on the client side. Second, what the priorities are for next week. And then also any roadblocks or issues that the team is facing so that the team can discuss how to mitigate that, how to address that. So let's now wait for Vanessa until the meeting is over. Right now I'm standing here on the rooftop terrace of Allianz in the heart of Munich. Big thanks to Allianz for supporting the work here on Firm Learning by sponsoring this video. Allianz Consulting is currently growing quite rapidly among their locations across the world. So if you are interested in a new opportunity in in-house consulting, in strategy consulting, IT, business, operations, or any other roles like that, I will link the Allianz career page in the video description. Feel free to check it out. I trust there are many opportunities out there for you to grow both professionally and personally. But now let's continue with the video.
So we're done with the meeting.
It's over, great. So how has it been?
I think it went quite well, actually. The client was quite happy, and we were also able to align on the content for the SteerCo next week, so that was good.
So for the uninitiated, what exactly is a SteerCo? What does that mean?
Yeah, so SteerCo is short for steering committee, and this is basically a format that we have every 2-3 weeks with our project sponsors. Normally those are board members or business unit leaders. And we have the next one coming up next week, as I mentioned. So we really were able to share the slides, the first draft, and get everyone's input.
Well, it's indeed a quite common format in consulting. I mean, also was used to that quite a bit. So yeah, I'd say let's head over to lunch.
Yes, let's do it.
Hi there.
Hi. So this is Ricardo and Bola, two other consultants.
Yes, my name is Heinrich. It's a pleasure to meet. Thanks for allowing me to join you today.
Pleasure to have you here.
Yeah, so it looks good.
It looks good indeed. If you don't mind waiting though, what I'd love to do is take the opportunity to ask you some questions as well. I know that many people in the audience would be interested on that. Maybe let's start just how you got here to Allianz Consulting. Would you mind just sharing your very personal journey?
Yeah, so I came across Allianz Consulting through a career fair at my business school, and I saw that they were launching a customer experience practice, which I was really keen to be a part of. And then I decided to just, apply and make an application online.
And then the application process started. Can you also shed some light into that, how that looks like?
The first round is with an engagement manager. Once you pass this first round, you're invited to a recruiting day. The recruiting day usually is composed by having interviews with 2 partners and 1 HR colleague.
Great, no, that makes sense. Sounds like a very typical consulting application process. I think another question that many people have in their minds when thinking about consulting is, of course, the staffing. So I understood there's quite a diversity of projects out there here at Allianz Consulting. What flexibility do you really have in making your own choices, what topics to pursue? Can you share something on this process?
Yes, indeed. So I think at Allianz Consulting, we're very fortunate to have a lot of options and a lot of different projects to work on. When I joined, for instance, I was staffed on a customer experience project because this is my focus. But then I spoke with my manager that I'm interested in digital transformation and I really want to explore that. After this, I switched into an M&A transaction. So really, there's different options that you can choose from.
Sounds quite diverse indeed. I understood. So at the beginning, you are assigned to a project, and then, of course, over time, you can also voice more and more your preferences.
Exactly.
Makes sense. Let's maybe also talk about your motivation to join consulting. Who'd like to share something on that? Why did you become a consultant? Yeah.
I would say actually it's very easy, this answer. The work-life balance is great. You work in consulting combined with this work-life balance approach, and then you're part of Allianz, the Allianz Group, one of the biggest and largest insurance companies in the world. So all of that three topics I combined, make sure that I wanted to be part of that world.
So working for an attractive multinational company and then combining the benefits of being a consultant with really a solid and sustainable work-life balance.
Definitely.
That sounds very relatable, definitely.
So next, why don't we go for a little walk outside? This is something we like to do a lot with our managers or our team members.
Walk and talk, nice.
Exactly, it's a great way to really take advantage of the beautiful weather. So we're going to meet Stefan Schmid. He's the head of Allianz Consulting.
It's a pleasure to meet both of you now to talk about also your experiences in consulting. To kick it off for the audience, Stefan, may I ask you to introduce yourself and your current role at Allianz?
Sure, thanks Heinrich. My name is Stefan Alexander Schmid and I'm the Chief Sales and Customer Officer for Allianz Services and Head of Allianz Consulting since 4 years.
I know that many people in the audience are also quite interested to learn more about consulting. What is the mission and vision of Allianz Consulting?
But Heinrich, I think we can put this in a rather short tagline that we came up 4 years ago, which is drive change, grow people for Allianz. And it's these three components. So we really want to participate in the big transformational projects for Allianz that are also relevant for the insurance industry. We want to invest in our people that they can grow their capabilities, not only professionally, but also personally. And we do that all for Allianz.
So for everyone who's now really considering potentially also applying to Allianz Consulting, what are the things that you are really looking out for in candidates when evaluating profiles?
Yeah, I mean, I think we always look for people that are, of course, motivated, but people that are looking to make a difference and an impact in the business. And one thing that's really important is that we want people that are really going to take their career in their own hands. So there's so many different opportunities at Allianz Consulting, and it's really what you make out of your career.
And talking about opportunities, I trust in a big company like Allianz, such a multinational company, there are many different roles out there. What can candidates expect at Allianz Consulting? What open vacancies are there in what areas?
I mean, Heinrich, you have the classical roles ranging from a junior consultant to then a more managerial role. But it's not so much about the position that people can get or the roles. I think it's the environment and the challenges that we have to offer. And this is multiple different big projects internationally that are really dealing with the core of what it is about in changing the insurance industry to be fit for the future.
And probably there's at least one thing that's distinctive about Allianz Consulting, and this is that for sure it's an in-house consulting firm. So for everyone who's pondering whether in-house consulting is the right choice as a next step for their career, any insights you can share on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think the really special thing about it is that your clients are actually also your colleagues. So there's a lot more collaboration compared to an external consultancy. And one thing that I like to say a lot is that Allianz Consulting is really like a small family, or a big family in this case. We are very much connected with one another. We share our knowledge, we engage, we are really helping and supporting each other because we do have a lot of in-house knowledge. So that's something that I think Stefan is really special with us.
I would just add 3 things to what Vanessa said. When you start working with us, you kind of like sign 2 contracts, one for consulting and one for the group, because you immediately start building both careers distinctively for consulting, and then also you build your reputation in the group. The second thing is it's a truly international environment. So we have more than 70 nationalities. The projects are really in an international context. If you sign with other external companies, you usually work in the markets with people from the market. And last but not least, we always have skin in the game for Allianz.
So I have a 30-minute break now until my next meeting. So I'm thinking of heading home and working from there for the rest of the day because I have football training later on. So I want to make sure that I'm there on time. So do you want to maybe join me on mine? I have some good coffee as well.
Thanks for the invitation. I love coffee. Let's do it.
Perfect.
Hey Vanessa, so
Hello.
the workday finally over?
It is, and I had promised you
Thank
some
you.
coffee.
Perfect. Yeah, so I could see that now the last hours you worked here from your apartment. How's this whole work from home thing working out for you?
It's working out great. I must say I really enjoy the flexibility that I have between working from home or from the office, or really do both like we did today. So this is something that I really appreciate. And I also really appreciate all the different kind of offerings that Allianz Consulting has for us.
What other offerings are there out there?
Well, I mean, Allianz Consulting has been great in really showing their support and that they care for the employees. So they really made sure to come up with a bunch of offerings around mental health, physical health. And these are, offerings that I also take advantage of.
Regarding physical activities, I understand in the moment we also have the football practice, right?
Yes, we do. And we still have a bit of time, so we can finish our coffee and then I'll get changed and we can head out together.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, so I mean, when I'm not at work, you can pretty much find me here. I actually started the first women's football team at Allianz about 5 years ago, and we play in the Bavarian Football League, train twice a week, and pretty much play games every single weekend.
So you're quite serious.
Yeah, we try to be at least.
Nice. Vanessa, thank you so much for allowing me to follow you here throughout the day. I also myself got some good learnings from that, and I hope that for everyone in the audience there were some good insights on in-house consulting, on Allianz Consulting as well. Thank you.
My pleasure, Heinrich. I hope you had fun, because I definitely did.
Absolutely. Big thanks to Allianz for supporting the work on the channel and sponsoring this video. If you have any questions at all about what it's like to work in consulting or at Allianz, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. If you're looking for new career opportunities, I will leave a link to the careers page of Allianz in the video description. As always, if you took any value at all out of this video, please destroy the like button for the YouTube algorithm and also subscribe to the channel. Big thanks to all the members of the channel as well. My name is Heinrich. I release weekly videos here on the channel. See you again next week and bye bye.